Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Marketplace Mondays with the Ham Weavers Guild of America. We're so excited to have this new program. This is an opportunity for you to get to know the vendors, ask questions, but most importantly, you're going to hear about what they're going to be bringing, what they offer. So when you come to Convergence, you'll be ready to shop. It also helps you decide how many of those collapsible suitcases are you going to put in the main suitcase so you can carry everything home. A little pre-shopping. So listen to what they have to say. You get to see some of their products. And then also you can ask questions in the Q&A. Put your questions in there and I'll grab those and we'll talk about them. Also later, you can put comments in in our Facebook and let people know what you saw, what you liked, any comments that you have for our people today, because they're going to be checking that afterwards. So if you want to say, oh, be sure you bring a lot of this yarn or this equipment, then they'll know what people are looking for. Also, let people know when you go shop that, hey, I saw you on Marketplace Monday, just to let them know that this was a good use of their time. So we're going to get started here in a few minutes. Just a reminder, Convergence is the 11th through the 17th. Shopping is the 11th through the 14th. And you can either come as a student, you can take classes and go on tours, or if you just want to come shop, you can buy a day pass. And you can do that online at weavespindye.org, or you can buy them there. We would love to have you. All right, you can also volunteer. You volunteer 2 hours and you get a day pass. And we still have plenty of things that you can volunteer for. We've got sitting in the exhibits, which everybody loves to do, stuffing goodie bags, all kinds of things that you can do to help as a volunteer. You know how these events happen. They don't happen unless there's volunteers there. So we look forward to seeing you. Okay, first up, we're so excited. We're going to have 316 Dye Studio. Jennifer, are you there?
I'm here.
All right,
Hi,
there you
everyone.
are. Always takes a little while. How are you? Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Now you're a real Wichitonian. Is that a
That's
word?
right.
You're from Wichita.
Wichita. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm excited to finally be able to do a show in my hometown, go home and sleep in my own bed. So I'm very
That's
much looking
right.
forward to Convergence.
That's right. And we're excited because you're new to Convergence, right?
That's
We're
right. Yep,
excited
first
to have
year.
someone new and see what wonderful things you're going to be bringing. I've seen your booth and you do have nice stuff. So
Thank
take it
you.
away.
Yeah. So one of the first things I wanted to show you about is I'm a ND dyer here located here in Wichita. So I am going to have all things related to here. So one of the things, if you want to take a little piece of Kansas home with you, one other line of products that we are so excited to offer this year is our line of eco-printed products. So not only do I do indie dyeing with yarns and fibers, but I also do a little bit of natural dyeing. And if you've never heard of eco printing before, it is the process of taking dye flowers and transferring them onto fabric. So these are a pair of socks that I eco printed. And I don't know if you can really quite see, but behind me, I have some flower beds right there. And I actually grow all the flowers that we use in our eco printing process myself. So they're super hyper local. It's all organic. I use all organic farming practices. So we'll have a line of socks available that you can purchase. I'll also have some indigo dyed socks, which are super fun. Or if you want to take the experience a little bit further, this year we just released these like just a few months ago. We're only really doing them for classes and for in-person events, but you can have an eco printing kit. So it comes with everything that you'll need to do this to eco print yourself at home, and you can choose a pair of socks or a bandana. And it comes with some bundling string, some whole flowers, and also some pressed flowers. In addition to a 20-page ebook that has all the instructions, has dye resources on it as well. And again, all those flowers I grew right behind me in my dye garden. And that's just a line of products that we're super excited about for this year. So in addition to doing those, I also dye fiber and I dye yarn. And for my fiber, we have a couple luxury blends and a couple just of your everyday blends that I recommend for like beginning spinners or people that have been spinning a long time. And every time I order fiber, I try to get a couple new fibers to play around with and to dye up for the season. So for this year, we have Cormo is one of our new blends. Super great to work with. It's been great to dye. I haven't actually spun any of it myself for sampling, but dye wise, it's been really fun. So we have some Cormo. And new this year is also this Corriedale. And I'm doing sock sets. So for those of you people that love to spin their own socks, I'll have some sock sets available for you. Cordell's a great fiber that if you want to do sock spinning, and I'll have several different colors of these. You get a 4-ounce braid and then an additional 2-ounce and like a contrasting color for if you want to alternate for your heels, toes, and cuffs. If you don't like spinning socks, they're great for color work options too. If you want to do like a border of a shawl or something in the other color, that's also an option. And then some of our kind of just house fibers that we keep that are kind of more of your everyday fibers are Targhee. This is a USA raised Targhee and processed Targhee. So this is an all USA product. I love Targhee. It's super fun, super floofy to work with. If you've never worked with it, highly suggest picking up a braid. It's a lot of fun to spin. And then we also have Polworth. Polworth is probably one of our biggest selling fibers. And I'll have several colors in this as well. Polworth is amazing to spin. It's one of my probably top 2 favorite fibers to work with. It's just really nice. It's super soft and just really easy to spin. I also, for those of you that like to kind of have a little bit more punchy of a fiber to work with, or that like a little bit sparkle, this is a custom blend that we had done. You can see all that sparkle in there. A lot of the fibers that you'll see that have this sparkle in it are superwash. And I wanted to keep all of my fibers non-superwash. So I have this custom blended. So this is a blend of merino and stellina. And as you can see, there's tons of that sparkle in there, which is super fun. Also, a couple luxury braids is, this is our most popular blend. It's merino, a blend of super fine merino, alpaca, camel, and silk. And once you touch it, you're going to be in love with it. It's one of the softest fibers. People, once they get their hands on it, they have to have it. But it has different, you can see like it really just adds a lot of depth in there. You can see the blends of the alpaca running through it. Just a really great all around fiber to work with. And then we also have some merino, cashmere, and silk if you're wanting a little more luxe also. And then one other fiber that I have a non-wool. And if you've never tried spinning cotton, or like one of those people that have spun cotton and you're like, oh, I hate cotton, trust me. Like I see the faces when I tell them that this is an easy spin cotton and they don't believe me. And then they try it and they're like, this is the best thing ever. So I'll have a bunch of different braids of cotton with me. So this is an easy spin cotton. It's a Pima cotton. It's a longer staple cotton. But what's great about this is that it's been processed in a way that you can actually draft with the fiber. It's not, it's still a short staple, but I was able to spin this skein here. This is the cotton. Just on my wheel. I didn't change any of the tension, or I didn't change my whirl that I use for when I spin my wools. I really sat down to see if there was really truth in advertising, and it is amazing. I was able to get the same amount of yardage that I do with my wools. So this was a 50-gram skein, and I got like probably about 200 yards out of it. So easy to spin cotton. It's a really great game changer if you want to try something non-wool or maybe have a wool allergy. And then if you want to travel with me, I also have all the yarn that will be coming with me. So we have several different kinds of bases. Our most popular here is our house spring weight base. We'll have several colors of that. I'll have a whole bunch of colors of DK. And then tweeds. I don't know if anyone is a fan of tweeds, but I love tweeds. I just finished making a pair of socks in tweed, which came out super fun. So we'll have those. And then we also have a bunch of minis. So I love dyeing minis. I love using them for color work in my knitting and my color work sweaters. And I finished this pair of socks right here that was all done with using minis. So you can see you, and I like dyeing the 10 grams as opposed to the 20 grams because it's great for just small color work items. So, and I'll have tons of different colors of those available too. So, and then something that I don't have to show that I'm planning on having with me for the first time is some hand dyed warps. So I haven't gotten to be able to get those in the dye pots yet, but I do intend on bringing some of those with me. So you can expect certainly to have and see some of those. And that's all I have. Is
I
there any
can't
questions?
wait. I can't wait to see what you bring. This is beautiful. Thank you so much, Jennifer. I appreciate it. It's 316 Dye Studio.
Mhm.
Come see her at Convergence. And again, remember, you don't have to be taking a class. You can just come shop.
That's
Thank you so
right.
much, and we'll see you in July.
Thank you.
Next up, we've got John Marshall, the one, the only John Marshall. We're excited to have him here today. Hey, John.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Good to hear your voice again.
You too.
Well, what I've have to present. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
What I've prepared a little video clip for you to show you some of the types of things I'll be having. I haven't actually worked with Convergence since before the pandemic, and so I had a chance to clean out things and pull things together. I'll be bringing some Japanese antiques, weaving as well as dolls that show off different types of Japanese textiles, as you see here. I've put together for the first time a collection of neckties, Japanese neckties. These are hand-dyed shibori ones, but there'll be other ones from famous mills in Japan in a variety of weaves. And as always, I'll be bringing a broad range of exquisite quality Japanese tops for both men and women in all sorts of dye and weaving techniques to tempt you. They're going to be quite an array of them, actually. And along with bolts. I don't often bring bolts to Convergence, but I thought this time I might tempt you with some tie-dye pieces, all sorts of things. These are Japanese lining fabrics that are in beautiful shaded tones, and I use them for doing piecework or for quilting and so forth, as you see here. The shadings lend themselves beautifully to give nice nuances, especially the flower petals and so forth. And then the interim has also given me plenty of time to do my own dye work and my sewing. I will have this piece completed in time for Convergence. All of the dyes I've prepared with the indigo from my own garden, the blues, the purples, the navies, the cinnabar, all of those colors are from the same indigo plant, including the reds that you see. Okay, so as I say, this one will be done along with a variety of other ones done from my own natural dyes. And then to help augment some of the classes that are being taught at Convergence, I'm bringing a wide range of really exquisite weaves. This one is 24 karat gold and silk, hand-woven velvet. And there'll be other types, takate and so forth as well. This is a sampling of the yarns I'll be bringing that are used to weave textiles such as the velvet or the textiles you saw in the dolls earlier. They come in a wide range of thicknesses and weights and so forth. So something that'll fit just any project that needs a little bit of sparkle to it. And there are cone versions. Down at the bottom of the screen, what you see is a 12-foot braided warp ready to go on your loom, done also with the gold threads that you're seeing here. Again, these are all things I bring back from Japan when I do my own exhibits there, but I will be having my own dye work as well. For those of you who do saga nishiki and similar weaves, these are some of the more buttonhole weight silks that are used in that weaving. And then in addition, I will be having the tools used in saga nishiki, like the miniature shuttles and combs. Now, what you're looking at here is handmade paper that's been laminated with gold and silver and so forth. And these are shredded into the fine strands that are used, again, for the woven velvet or the other fabrics that you've been seeing here. Weaving paper in this manner is very traditional among Japanese weaves. I'm just come out, it's on its way from the publishers now, my new book, Salvation Through Soy. So I've gotten a lot of questions and problems people bring to me about maybe their fabric smelling a little bit after using soy milk, that kind of thing. This book addresses all of that, has lots of projects for you to try, all sorts of suggestions, and basically anything and everything you'll ever need to know about soy milk. And then just as a bonus, I included my favorite cheesecake recipe on the very last page. Nothing to do with soy milk, but we all love cheesecake, right? Okay, so I will be bringing my Singing the Blues Indigo book, Salvation Through Soy, and also my various collector and one-of-a-kind books that I've published. This particular one is from my series Textile of the Month. These are the samples that go with that online course. I'll be bringing the books themselves for you to purchase if you like. And then there are also other limited edition, a wide range of limited edition books that I will be bringing. And with all of the limited editions, I love to have samples. I always like samples of real textile things I can touch and look at and smell. And with that in mind, as weavers and dyers, of course, we want to see the back side of the fabric. This sample, again, is 24 karat gold woven in a method called karaori. There are other samples I'll have, such as this box, these contained in this box by Anthony Kleisis, a loom maker. And this collection is of laminated golds and silks and so forth. Anything you ever want to know about gold laminating. And then finally, because this is the year of the dragon, I thought I would include a special dragon corner with all sorts of garments and textiles included in the collection. This particular piece is a Theo Mormon weave, 24 karat gold and silk. And so that gives you a general idea of the broad range of things I'll be presenting. And I think that about covers it. There'll be more than that. That's just all I wanted to share for now. And as I clean, I'm sure I'll turn up other treasures.
John, you never disappoint. Oh, those things are just gorgeous. And I'm excited to see you this July at Convergence. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you.
And again, if you're looking to come, you can come shop. You can get your day pass and you can get that at weavespindye.org. All right. Next up, we've got Sandra from the Schiffer Publishing. Hey, Sandra.
Hey there, Kathy. It's
How are
exciting
you?
to be here. I'm good. You?
Good. Thank you for being here.
Oh, it's a pleasure. I wanted to, first of all, at Schiffercraft, we always get really excited about Convergence because you might know, if you know our company and our books at all, we publish on a whole range of crafts, every craft you can think of, really. But we're especially focused on fiber crafts. And so Convergence is really exciting for me because it's great to be face to face with a lot of the people that use our books. I will be there this year with a colleague, probably some of you may know him, Joe Langman, our sales therapist here at Schiffercraft. And when he and I are at Convergence together, we always have a really good time learning from you all. Just to quickly recap what we're about at Schiffercraft, in case you're not familiar with us yet, and I'm looking forward to meeting you there in Wichita. What we do here is our mission is to foster a respect for craft. And we have sort of two touchstones. One is that craft is made to last, the heritage of crafting. And so, of course, for weaving, you all know that and are excited about the fact that what you're weaving what you're making textile wise right now in your studio, maybe as you're watching this, is based on generations and millennia of people doing it before you. So one of the reasons we're excited to publish our books is that the books help everyone remember and contextualize the fact that what we're making now is drawing on people's handmade creativity for so long behind us, and that really enriches things. So heritage, craft is made to last. The second thing that we focus on in our book and other product making here at Schiffercraft is that it's a lifelong process. So we have books on how to start weaving if you've never tried it before. Say you're bringing a newbie with you when you visit in Wichita and you're walking the floor with them and they're so excited to get into it. You're excited because you've ushered someone new into the world of weaving, but B, we publish books for that kind of person, very beginner level on all sorts of different textile art processes and crafts, including starting weaving. So it's exciting for me to be there on the marketplace floor and get to meet people who are just brand new and wide-eyed and excited about starting this as they're seeing the exhibits and everything at Convergence. That shows just how far up you can go in the craft. And we publish books at that higher level too. So speaking of the books, we're excited to be there at Schiffercraft, not just to give you a chance to see the books in person if you haven't before, but to find out what you think. So if you've read any of our Schiffercraft books, please stop by and talk to us about what you thought, what you liked, what you didn't like, what you didn't understand, or how you've used it. Likewise, it doesn't have to be a Schiffercraft book. It could be any resource you've used in terms of weaving. For instance, you know, the John Marshall's books, he was just mentioning those, and that's really exciting. I'm looking forward to seeing some of that new stuff. Thanks, John. And also any new lines you're thinking about that you're excited about for weaving, whether, you know, you've taken your first day of your Convergence class and you're all excited about something new you learned from your teacher that you didn't even realize before, and it seems as though that might be your new track for the coming year in what you're going to focus on making. That's the kind of thing that we at Schiffercraft really love to hear you talk about, because places like Convergence are where we get the seeds for the books that the weaving community wants and needs. So it's really all about connecting with you, and I'm excited to do that at Convergence. Speaking of books, I'll just share my screen briefly to show you a couple of the new books that we're excited to show you. And let me just get my work stuff out of my way here. First of all, we are focusing on a brand new book by Tommy McClure Scanlon. And if you watched the preview webinar for Convergence last week, I think, or
Sandra, we're still seeing your email, I think.
Sorry?
We're still seeing your email. Oh, there we go. It's getting bigger.
Okay, great. Tommy at Convergence this year is going to be teaching a class on marking time with fabric and thread. So that class sounds super exciting, but what we'll have there is advanced copies for you to take a look at of her new book on the whole process, how to capture time in your own personal way with your weaving or with any other fiber work you do. But the book's publication date is October, so that's coming up. But at Convergence, we'll have some advanced copies for you. We'll also be offering a special pre-publication order discount for you. If you've already pre-ordered your copy, say on Amazon or anywhere else, if you just bring to Convergence a copy of your receipt on the phone, on your phone, and show it to us, we'll have a special treat for you all too. So that's marking time, very exciting, coming up soon. quilting experience. By the way, we're excited about this also, a quilting book by Victoria Finlay Wolf. Great designs there. Speaking of what John Marshall was talking to us about, we also have a new book on Japanese paper yarn coming out. So we'll have some advanced info there at Convergence on that one. It's by Andress Stanton, and you may know her because she's also published the book Dimensional Cloth, Sculpture by Contemporary Textile Artists. So again, a great new book to take a look at when you come to Wichita. Pick up Band Weaving Designs. This is another new fall book for us by Heather Torgenrud. She's well known for her band weaving, and this book highlights 288 designs that if you're already into band weaving, you're going to pick this up and start running with it. Really great new book. Artisans by Design by Judy Frater. This is more about the social side of why we do weaving. And it's a beautiful book. It's all about a textile design school that started in India 25 years ago, and how weaving can make a difference in people's lives, in people's economies, and in people's ability to lead a more productive life wherever they are. Let's see here. Also, Susan Iverson's book, Tapestry with Pulled Warp. This has been out a few months now, but if you haven't seen it, really amazing book on her technique, which you've probably seen exhibited at Convergence's past. And she outlines for you how to do it on your own loom. Another great new book that is available now, so you can see it at the event, is Passementerie. This is about weaving trim, and it's an endangered art nowadays. There are only a few weavers who are still making these items. They're beautiful. You can make them on a regular floor loom if you wish. And Libby Ashdown has been working hard on that. She's based in England. You might have seen her on interviews and so on, because she's really helping Passementerie to get a rejuvenation. So that's another thing you could think about learning. And then last but not least, another recent book is Weaving with Wire, and that book is by Christine Miller. We're excited that Christine too will be teaching in Wichita on her technique. So you can stop by the booth, see some of her pieces there, and get a signed copy while you and Christine are both at Convergence in Wichita. That is a great place to stop, I think, in terms of the books we'll have there. We'll have some other surprises at the booth too. And just one more bonus, if you're watching these in advance of Convergence videos, if you come up to the Schiffercraft display at the marketplace, if you come up and ask me, do you know what the name Wichita means? That'll be like our secret code, because if you ask me that, you're going to get a special Wichita Convergence secret prize for the people in the know who watched videos in advance. So don't forget, just ask me, do you know where the name Wichita comes from? It'll be like a secret handshake between us, and we can give you something that will even add more to your enjoyment of Wichita. So back to you, Kathy. That's about all I've got.
Sandra, fiber lovers love Schiffer. You guys are the best. We're so excited you're going to be there. And we're working on Sandra also presenting about if you want to get published. I'm sure people are going to be wanting to talk to you about that when they get there, but we're also going to do a presentation on if you're interested in getting published, so you can learn more about that. Thank you, Sandra. I can't wait to see you this July. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure. Bye, Kathy.
Bye-bye. Next up, we have Melissa Renfrey, and she is with Storyteller Stitchery.
Yes.
Hey, Melissa.
Hey.
There she is. Welcome.
Thank you very much. I'm very excited to be here.
So tell us about it.
Yeah, so I am the founder and dyer behind Storyteller Stitchery, which is another indie dyer, and all of my yarn, fiber, I also do silk embroidery threads, so everything is inspired by stories, so mostly like characters or, you know, adventures, places from books, things like that. So I thought it's interesting how everybody's kind of done a little bit different method of sharing today, but I'm going to pull up my website because I thought that might be a showcase some of what I do and some of the process that I take to creating designs. So one thing that's I think a little bit different for Storyteller Stitchery is that before I even start creating the recipe and what I want the colorway to look like, I actually create a mood board for every colorway. So this is my new collection that just launched, and I will be bringing some to Convergence as well. And I'll show you the yarn in a second, but I just wanted to explain the mood board here and the process behind that. So about what I'm inspired by, I create some imagery and kind of really think about what I want that colorway to represent. So I start with imagery and then I kind of pull together like colors that I want. Sometimes I'll pull in a quote. I'll just this is just a little bit of text about each of the different Celtic and Norse mythological creatures or beings that are inspiring this water mythology collection. So from here, once I've got the mood board, I've kind of thought through also the process of how I want to apply the dye and what I want the final yarn or fiber or embroidery thread to look like. And so at that point, I'll go into the dye studio and start experimenting, but it's usually pretty fast at that point because I have quite a clear vision in my mind. So so this is the water mythology collection. So we have Selkie, Kelpie, Nessie, which is Loch Ness Monster, Lady of the Lake, and the Kraken. And I have a variety of yarn bases. So fingering weight all the way through Aran weight. And in fingering, we have obviously sock, 100% merino. In DK, I carry a 85% merino and 15% silk for kind of a little bit of a luxury, as well as merino. And then in the worsted weight, I carry a alpaca merino mix, which is this kind of fourth one right here. And then we also carry the Suri alpaca, which is the fuzzy one that we see over here. So we carry the Suri alpaca and silk yarn as well. So the yarns themselves, like I say, I'll have a variety. I do have some with me if anybody wants to see, but I thought this might be a easier way to kind of showcase it. So if anybody wants to see some kind of held up to the screen, I'm happy to do that. So big collection of yarn. I also carry fiber. So I have right now I have bases for obviously merino, which is kind of a standard. I have British Blueface Leicester, which is my personal favorite to spin. I am a spinner as well as a knitter and a dyer. So I understand the kind of the joy of fiber and texture and colors and all of that. So yeah, we have merino, British Blueface Leicester. I carry Cheviot and Rambouillet. Those are kind of standards. The Blueface Leicester is a newer one to the store, but those are kind of standards. And I do expect to have another couple of fiber bases by the time we get to Convergence in July. So this just kind of showcases some of the colorways. So for example, Beatrix Potter and Neverland, like these are collections that I carry across all of the bases. So yarn, fiber, embroidery threads. So yeah, so these are some of the fibers. And then I also make like wooden tools and notions. So like little, needle keepers. I designed these color organizers. So, as a knitter, I know I get myself very confused sometimes when I'm working through patterns. And it tells me to switch to, CC2. And I'm like, which color is CC2? So anyway, this was kind of created out of a need that I had to try and stay organized. So you just kind of snip a little bit of yarn and attach it to each of these. And it's actually here. So it's this nice little size. And I have it on a few different options, so slightly different sizes, but you can just tuck it in your project bag. I also have a little spinner's tool, extra rigid heddle loom, and then kind of a larger loom, which is great for either beginners. So if you have somebody who is very new to weaving and just wants to start with a super small project, but it's also great for like using up that scrap yarn. So when you have leftovers after a project, you want to make some coasters or, you know, a little wall hanging or something like that. And it comes with a bundle of tools. So yeah, so and then let me quickly show you as well the embroidery threads, just so you get an idea of that. So like I said, I carry colorways across all different mediums. So this is the Beatrix Potter collection. So we saw the fiber before, and actually I didn't show you the yarn, I'll show you that. And the Neverland embroidery. So all of the embroidery threads are 100% grade A mulberry silk, 2-ply and 26 yards per skein. And I always put them together in colorway collections with 5 skeins per collection. And they come presented just like this with the, you know, the wooden tag that has some more information on the back and on the pin. So we'll have a selection of embroidery threads. And then let me show you the, let's see, so Beatrix Potter collection. So this is one that launched, I think, February. And again, it's available on, you know, all of the different yarn bases. So there's 5 colors in the collection. So Jemima Puddle Duck, Benjamin Bunny, Mr. Jeremy Fisher, the Tailor of Gloucester, Peter Rabbit, and you can see the, like I was talking about earlier, the mood boards that I create for each colorway to kind of inspire. So yeah, and then they're carried across, like I say, across all the different bases. So I think that is everything I wanted to show, excuse me, show today, but I do have a collection around me, so if you have any questions or wanted to see anything, you know, in person, let me know. But otherwise, I think I'm done sharing there.
I love your themes. Those were wonderful.
Thank you.
And also you are going to bring things for everybody in the fiber world. All the fiber fiends have seen something at your store that they want. I'm really curious about the loom. What's the size of that loom? It looks amazing.
Yeah, I have it right here. So it's just a really nice little size that obviously, you know, you can warp just kind of the middle section if you wanted to do a bookmark, or you could do, you know, the full thing, or any width that you want along here, which is what makes it so great for coasters and things like that. And then it comes with all of the little, so you get the little comb, and you have, well, some needles, and then the shuttle there as well. So yeah,
That's great. I think our the small looms are so popular right now. Everybody's loving those. Though whole tapestry, and if you don't make an end product, you're doing your studies on it. It's wonderful. People are excited to see those. Thank you so much for being on here today. Melissa, you've got some beautiful stuff. I can't wait to see it this July in Wichita. We're going to come to do some shopping. That's what we got to do this summer. Thank you so much.
thank you.
Next up is Yarn Adventure. We have Katie with Yarn Adventure. Hey, Katie.
Hey.
Hello.
Oh,
This is my husband Dean. He's here too.
hey, Dean.
Yeah. And we are live from the truck, which is awesome.
Oh,
That's what you
really?
see.
Explain that, because a lot of people don't know what you're talking about.
Yes. So Yarn Adventure is a mobile luxury yarn shop. And so we drive the country now, and we bring hand-dyed luxury yarns from small batch bankers to fiber festivals, knit groups, weaving groups, quilt shops, quilt groups. Where else do we go?
Anybody who likes fiber.
We're gonna go to a pie shop this week. I'm really excited about that one.
Bet.
So we carry about 37 different indie makers, indie dyers currently, and about 70 different makers on board the truck. So if you look behind us, you'll see all of our beautiful hand dyes, and we get to make relationships with each and every one of them, including Melissa from Storyteller Stitchery. She will be joining the truck very, very soon. We have our order in with her. And 316 Dye Studio is also on board our beautiful truck. So we get to make relationships with these people and pick out colors and do all kinds of wonderful things. So we're going to talk to you a little bit about our yarns, specifically those ones that we thought you guys would be the most interested in. I will say that we roll over a lot all the time, so everything changes.
We try to carry one base per yarn dyer. or, one item. If it's not a yarn item, we try to carry one item per dyer, per maker, so that we can have the biggest variety that we can have.
Yes. So, for a lot of our weavers out there, they always ask about some non-wool yarns, and we have Queen City here, and this is her Coleman base, which is a 65-35 silk linen, which is absolutely lovely, and her colors are just beautiful. And she's out of North Carolina. We also have Muse 2320. She's from Minnesota. And Sarah dyes up. This is a BFL tweed base. Super fun for adding a little bit of texture. And her colors are super rich. And she has a full gamut of like these lovely earthy tones that we just adore. We love working with her out of Hastings. From Arkansas, which is our home state. Right now, we're actually coming at you from a Lowe's parking lot in Indiana. So because we can't like sit anywhere for more than like 5 minutes at a time. So here we are. From our home state. This is Apothecary. I don't know if any of you know Fairy or not, but she is an amazing maker out of North Central Arkansas. We carry her luxury linen DK, which is an alpaca, silk, and linen blend, and it is stunning.
It's one of our most popular ones for weavers.
It really, really is.
I love her stuff. I've seen it at shows. It's wonderful.
She really goes out of her way to make beautiful things. We also picked up some fat quarters from her the other day. Actually, just yesterday when we were in Kentucky. So also we have some from, this is Laughing Cat Fibers, and she's out of Kentucky now as well. And this is a super special base for us. This is actually inspired by my husband's astrophotography. So I'm going to put this way up here next to the camera, and that's the nebula. So he took a picture of this when we still owned a house in Arkansas, in our backyard, and we have it as a sticker, and we sent it off to our dying friend Laura from Laughing Cat, and she goes, "I love it. I can't wait to make a colorway." So she put it on her favorite DK sparkle base, and now we get to carry around fiber that is exactly what Dean saw in the sky. And so it's so fun to be able to bring our art to you guys and to explain all those wonderful things.
And she sort of alluded to it, but we travel all full time now. So I actually left my job a couple of months ago. We've been doing this for over 3 years now. But I left my full-time job so we could do this full-time. So we travel all over the country. We used to kind of be limited to about 10 or 12 hours from Arkansas, but now we're only limited by the oceans. So
it's true. Well, and how tired I get between driving.
That too.
A couple of weeks ago, I do believe that you had Oink Pigments on. We're actually staying with her. We stayed with her last night here in Indianapolis. And last time we stayed with her, I got to dye my very own colorway with her on her Mystic base, Helena out of the Indiana base for Oink Pigments. So we try to have a lot of fun developing individual colorways with our dyers, like this one from Getting It Faced in Colorado. This is based on our logo and actually our old truck. So we had a different truck at the time, and it had a sunset scene on it. And so this is Adventurers Out There, because it really is. And we are really about the adventure. And we can't forget Road Trip Sock Yarn, because everything's a road trip for us. So this is a sock yarn from Allie Pate out of Colorado as well. And so this is her Road Trip 2024 series. And it is super fun and speckly and amazing, and adding texture to all those weavings and everything else. So we don't just carry yarn though, which is the best part. My husband's now telling me to slow down because I'm talking too fast.
But the faster you talk, the more we see. So keep going.
She can talk max speed
really
for an hour. You still be on here.
Hey, you've got some cool equipment too, or little odds and ends.
Yeah, so we have all kinds of stickers, enamel pins, stitch markers. I am so excited about showing off some stitch markers. We just got these from Granite Mountain out of West Virginia. They're our first West Virginia maker, and she does these amazing resin covered images, and they are removable markers, and they're all national parks. I don't know if you can see it or not.
Yeah, it's all national parks. And so it's all like the artworks for the national parks that you see that are in a enamel covered stitch markers.
And we're super excited because we're her very first wholesale order. And she's not the only one that we've done that with. We are able to take these small makers, these people who are just starting out, who have amazing eyes and amazing products and amazing looks for color, and we get to take them around the country and share them with everyone, which is like the best part about our adventure. We also carry the electric eel wheel from Dreaming Robots. So I'll bring my wheel over here. Oh, yeah, here's my wheel. So we will have those in stock on the truck for you guys. So if you're in the market for an electric wheel, we will have those. Here's I just finished this one yesterday. Jenny will recognize this from 316. This is her brown and white Cormo in cinder and, brown and white BFL in cinder and smoke. So that was her yarn and her roving, and I spun that up, and it was beautiful. And what else was that?
I've got a couple. Let's see.
You grabbed a couple of pins.
I've got a couple of pins. So we carry lots of enamel pins, lots of stickers. So this is actually a color wheel enamel pin from the Gray Muse.
Oh, save me one of those.
Oh yeah.
Interactive. So we have these. I mean, we can barely
save me one of those.
We have that.
We also carry the full lineup of the badges, Girl Scout merit badges from used to be 80 Knits, now Camp Stitchwood. Her name's Augusta, Virginia, and this one particular is Wonder Weaver. And so she has what, 60 of these now, and we carry all of them.
We will have all of them on board.
We're running out of time, and I wanted to clarify one thing, because this is way cool. We are actually at a convention center where we can drive in.
Yes.
So you guys are going to be outside in the parking lot. You're going to be in the building.
We will
come onto your truck, see everything. We're excited. This is working out well.
We're super excited to be inside
in July in Kansas. We are so pumped. And
it was something that you mentioned earlier. I'm sorry, I don't mean to keep interrupting you, but I want to make sure people do realize they can contact you. They can go on Facebook and let you know what they're looking for, right?
Yes. We will try our best. Can't always guarantee everything, but we'll definitely try our best to get exactly what you're looking for. But yes, you come on board the truck and like shop inside the truck. It's a full yarn store experience inside. And then we do have things outside as well. So that's actually our old yarn truck. Our new one is purple. So, and about a foot taller. So, and a lot wider on the inside.
It's got lots of room on the inside.
So, yeah.
This is going to be so much fun. I cannot thank you guys enough for being on here today. And again,
thank you.
It is Yarn Adventure. What a perfect name for you guys. If you see something you want to see, don't forget, guys, save me one of those pins. I want one.
Will for sure, Kathy. Don't worry.
Be sure you let them know, and let everybody you've seen today. If there's something that you saw, like, make sure you have that for me. You can go on Facebook and leave them a message. Okay. Thank you guys. See you in July.
All right.
Next up, we have Mr. Meadows. This is Ed.
Hello.
Hi, Ed. How are you?
I'm great, thanks. How are you doing?
Thank you for being with us today. Oh my gosh, welcome. What do you have?
That is Bebop. I brought a co-presenter. She is one of our lambs from this year. We're actually in our shop. We have an on-farm store. So Mesta Meadows is a fine wool shop and ranch that targets producing the very best quality fiber for fiber artisans. So we have primarily 3 breeds of sheep that we have here. We have French Merino, which is Rambouillet. We have naturally colored French Merino, which is very, very rare. And we also have Cormo. So let me just show you a little bit of what we do. And we try to support fiber artisans all the way from the spinner to the weaver to the end textile maker. So we really try to provide a broad range of support. So I'm using my handheld phone here, so hopefully we can make this switch around here. We'll start with kind of at the beginning. We actually will have some fleeces at the event for those that actually do their own hand spinning or hand dyeing. This is an example of a Rambouillet fleece. You can see it's just beautiful crimp, a beautiful white color. very, very clean. We noodle all of our fleeces for best storage quality and to prevent any contamination. We also very aggressively skirt our fleeces to, again, have very clean, you can see here, really not any vegetable matter at all in them. This is one of the things that's really unique. So this is a naturally colored Ramblay fleece. So only about 1 in 1,000 Ramblay sheep has a recessive gene for color. So you typically think of merino, of Ramblay, as being white, and it usually is, except for these 1 in 1,000. We actually have scoured the country and have built up a flock of colored Ramblay. Probably have one of the larger colored Ramblay flocks. What's really cool about it, we have everything from, this is an example of one that is a, what we would call a mixed fleece. So she has some black, a little bit of gray, some white. So when you spin this, this will be a really nice gray color if you
Hey,
mix this
Ed?
together.
Hey,
Yeah.
Ed, can
Yeah.
you turn your camera horizontal so we can see more?
Oh, how about like that?
Perfect.
Is that better?
Ooh, lovely. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. So we do have some of these that are actually black, that are just solid black. We have some that are solid gray. So we have all different kinds of these fleeces. Now we also have Cormo sheep. And with our Cormo sheep, one of the things we do is we make a roving. So if you don't want to wash and go through the process of carding your fleece to get it ready to spin, these roving packets are amazing. 4-ounce packets of Cormo wool. I wish you could feel it. This is so soft. It's just incredibly soft. Just a wonderful fiber to work with. A lot of our spinners call this like working with butter. They say it's just like butter. It's so smooth. Now we also have small packets of raw wool, so you don't have to buy a whole fleece. Kind of makes it a little easier. But then we also have some of our wool that we had turned at Mountain Meadows Wool Mill into yarn. So this is some of that colored Ramblay yarn, naturally colored. This is a 4-ounce skein. It's about 250 yards. It is a this is a worsted weight, so it's a thicker yarn. We also have naturally white Ramblay wool yarn, which is a DK weight, so it's a really nice lighter kind of spin. Excellent yarn to work with for next skin clothing. This is an example of my wife made a scarf out of these two different wools here, which it just, again, is very, very nice to spin with. This is actually from a Jacob. We had some Jacob fleeces that we had converted into yarn. So again, this is not dyed. This is the natural color. So this is a gray Jacob worsted weight yarn. And we will have some of our blankets. Here, you want to show those off, Bebop? Please don't leave those. And our socks and our hats that are all made out of wool from our yarn. So we're kind of unique. We're in those Islands. We are a actual wool ranch here, and we do have all of our wools processed here in the U.S. So it's all U.S. grown, produced, and made here. So we're just super excited about being at the festival. I don't think I can bring Bebop. I'm sorry. But she would love to come. She's such a pet. But we look forward to seeing everyone at Convergence. If you do have a specific type of fleece that you would like to see, a pure Cormo, a white Ramblay, a colored or gray Ramblay, let us know and we'll do our best to accommodate that. We have right now about 65 fleeces in inventory. So we can probably meet your needs.
Well, thanks for mentioning that, Ed. Again, I can't remind people enough that don't be shy, don't be quiet. Tell the vendors what you want to see. And Ed's invited you to do that. And I'm excited to see the colored Ramblay. I don't know if I've ever seen that. This is going to be a great thing to see while you're there. Thank you so much, Ed.
Thank you so much. We're really
Again,
looking forward.
This is Mr. Meadows. This is a man who knows about fleece. You got any questions, he'll be able to answer them for you. Thank you so much
Great.
for being here today. And thank you all of our vendors for coming on today. We do appreciate it. Just a reminder that, again, Convergence is this summer. Time to go shopping. I know you've been waiting 2 years to do some serious shopping, and now you can see why. I'm excited. We've got new vendors. We've got some of our old favorites coming, like John Marshall. We've got these new folks that we saw today. We've got a bus. We got a fiber bus. What more could you want? So if you're interested and you want a day pass, you can go online at weavespindie.org. There's still times to sign up. Talked to somebody the other day that saw a teacher on Textiles and Tea and said, I wasn't going to go to Convergence, but I saw this. I wanted to go. And so she went and signed up. There was still room in the class. Again, you're getting excited about spinning, weaving. There's still time to come and sign up for a class, or at least come shop. We still have rooms at the Drury, which is a gorgeous hotel. If you like that old architecture with the nice modern amenities, then you'll love the Drury. So again, July 11th through the 17th, if you're looking for a day pass, you can purchase one, or you can volunteer and get one free. But we hope we'll see you there. We've got one more session today at 4 o'clock. We've got even more vendors then. So please come join us. We'll see you this afternoon. Bye-bye.